if you go back to March 2011, a coach load of people joined me to handing a 10,000 petition to the National Assembly for Wales, and that was handed in on the steps of the Assembly.
It's just absolute chaos. I mean, I don't know what the other drivers think about it, but I think it's ridiculous.
Well, the traffic problems we have in Newtown are not new. They've been there for many years, but the removal of the Kerry Road roundabout back in 2010 made the problem significantly worse. And I always say to people that it's not just a Newtown problem. People have signed my petition as far as Ireland, in local towns in Montgomeryshire, Welshpool and Llanidloes. It's not just a Newtown problem, and that's the important part here. We've got 10,361 names from indeed all over the UK, because it's something that affects the whole region. Not only small businesses being affected in Newtown town centre, but we've got businesses being affected right up to the west coast.
I'm Andrew Davis, and I'm a member of the Petitions Committee. Here we actually have a cross-party committee of the Assembly who will actually work their way through the petition, engaging with the Minister. Obviously it's going to be difficult because we're up against the election now, but this petition, if it is accepted and it's not inadmissible, will be taken forward in the 4th Assembly, so whoever is the Minister then will be held to account for his or her actions, and we as a committee then can obviously collate that information, liaise with the petitioners, which is all your good selves and the people of Montgomeryshire. We have no power of sanction to say to people, you have to do this. All we can do is bring the glare of publicity onto people and onto ministers in particular to say, this is a major issue, a local concern, and actually when you look at the economic impact of what's going on in Newtown, and I travel it quite regularly if I'm going up to Wrexham or anywhere, it's a major, not just local issue, but national issue, because a lot of traffic is stuck there, and that's a big economic impact on the area immediately around Newtown, but on the wider Welsh economy, I would suggest. But the biggest issue, I'm sure, for your good selves is the blight personally on your lives, on everyday existence in Newtown. Now, that will be the petition system here in the Assembly. I hope that we can give you some of the answers that you are seeking. I hope eventually there will be some positive news on the actual bypass coming from the Assembly government. But as I said, we have no power to say this has to happen. But by you coming here today, you obviously are voicing a larger voice, shall we say, of the, I think, nearly 10,000 or 10,000 signatures that are on that petition. That in itself is a very powerful advocate for the cause. Okay.
Here we are, thank you.
Shall I just...
Here we are, Christina.
Well, we delivered the petition this morning. We had 10,361 names. It was delivered to and handed over to the chairman of the Petitions Committee at the National Assembly for Wales.
I'm Councillor Francis Torrens. I'm the Montgomeryshire Shire's chairman this year. I became a town councillor for Newtown Town Council in 2004, and I was elected as a county councillor in 2008 for Newtown North Ward. With the fact that we've got so little industry within the Newtown area, the situation with tourism becomes even more realistic, that we have to maintain that level of a flow of holidaymakers through Newtown so that they have at least a benefit of being able to come into one of the most beautiful parts of Wales, or at least we think it is anyway. And we've had promises and promises and promises. And one of the phrases I've used time and time again is that we in Mid Wales are almost like a space black hole. People know where we are, but they don't know what's going on inside. And if anything happens with finance, it's the other side of Brecon, or it's the other side of Oswestry going into the North Wales corridors. And we wonder why we're not getting it. And we feel it's just because up until now, we haven't had proper representation in the Welsh Assembly government.
I'm Avril Evans. I'm a resident of Newtown. Newtown needs this bypass now, not in 4 years down the line. It'll be quadrupled in price by then. South Wales has got the M4, the North Wales has got the A5. We've got nothing for the Birmingham and Midlands traffic going to Cardigan Bay. It's a bottleneck, and it's going to be right through the summer, now all year long.
If you go back 70 years, the bypass was talked about then in the 1940s, even before my father was born, and it's been on and off the agenda for the last 70 years. At one time, Newtown people themselves didn't even want the bypass. The town council at one point campaigned against it, but that's changed in the last 10 or 15 years.
Nick Cleary, and I'm the project manager for Alan Griffiths on the Newtown bypass. So the scheme is 6.5 kilometres long. It consists of 5 roundabouts and 11 structures. There are 4 underpasses, 3 overbridges and 4 underbridges. The 4 underbridges get us across some of the steep valleys, and the railway bridge down at this end.
County Councillor Joy Jones for Newtown East Ward. We've waited such a long time, and it is an amazing feat of engineering. People have been concerned that this may be a scar on the landscape, but it's been done so discreetly that as it's grown and taken shape, it's actually going to be a pleasure to be able to go out upon and drive along, because it's the most beautiful bypass and you've got absolutely stunning views and it's absolutely lovely. So I think people are going to enjoy their trip across the bypass. But we must always bear in mind that we've got an amazing town, and this is just adding extra to our town. So please remember to always come and visit us in Newtown. So I've been very fortunate. I've been taken across the bypass on many occasions. I've seen it develop from the mud to now a beautiful bypass.
Today's itinerary for the opening will consist of the dignitaries going on a bus tour so we can show them the bypass before it's open. That'll be followed by a plaque unveiling at the lay-by, where our Executive Director, Martin Evans, will introduce the Minister for Economy, Ken Skates, who will give a speech and unveil the plaque.
And here a lot of you might have heard about this tree on the right hand side. It's the infamous but famous the Brimon oak. So this is the oak that was I wouldn't say saved, there was never the intention to cut it down, but it's been protected throughout the construction process. So as you can see, it won the UK and Welsh Tree of the Year in 2016. There's 4 or 5, 6 lorries going around that roundabout now, which will make a big difference, we think, to the town itself, that they'll be able to go on the bypass now. You can see them yourself going into town, so they will go along the bypass now. So when you come along here, then in 10 days' time, you'll see all that lane and all the fencing here will be complete as well. I think we're all going to get off the bus shortly, just to see the Minister is going to unveil the plaque, the opening of the scheme, and also, as I understand, say a few words. So once we park up now, I'll just ask you all to come off. Oh, you don't, please come off the bus to see the stone. Okay. And we'll travel on then to the bottom, to the west end of the scheme, where there'll be the ribbon cutting as well, and the first few cars will travel along the bypass.
Good morning. Minister, invited dignitaries and guests. On behalf of Alan Griffiths contractors and the whole of the construction team, could I extend a very warm welcome to you all on this beautiful but still fairly chilly morning. So I promise I'll keep this pretty brief. Before I hand over to the Minister, I would just like to take a few moments to express our gratitude to Welsh Government and to say how proud we are as a company, firstly, to have been selected way back in 2012 to manage this prestigious scheme through the various statutory processes, and then to have had the opportunity to convert what was then on paper into the reality that we've seen this morning.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. It is fantastic to be with you for this incredibly important occasion today. I'm also delighted to be joined by a number of my colleagues in the Assembly. Joyce Watson, Russell George and Elena Morgan has also joined us here. I'm just going to say a few things about how valuable this piece of infrastructure is to the entire region. The degree of support for this bypass demonstrates just how much it was needed for Newtown and for Mid Wales. This is the single biggest investment in infrastructure anywhere in the region. It's enabled more than £10 million to be spent in Welsh-based SMEs, and almost £11 million has been spent on local people, including those apprentices who have been employed on the project. In terms of the value to the place that we stand in, the fact that we are already consulting on bridge names, roundabout names, shows how important a piece of infrastructure of this nature can be in enhancing pride and also the identity of a place. And I look forward to further consultation taking place rapidly, and for the many pieces of infrastructure along this route to be formally named. I think it's also important to say that an incredible partnership has been developed to deliver this scheme, a partnership that has included many diverse groups, including archaeological groups, wildlife groups, community groups, as well as a significant number of suppliers and businesses. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Not an option for me not to be here.
Okay, I think that's
Martin, can I do one last one? Yeah. And now in a smile and a chuckle again. Yada yada yada.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Formally open. Yes. Is that right? Right. Someone else on.
What does it feel like to be one of the first cars to travel along the new bypass?
Yeah, it's going to be excellent. Hopefully sticking to the speed limits.
Yeah, it's good. I've been working here since February 2016, so it's been a long time coming.
I'm Sue Newham, I'm the Mayor of Newtown.
And I'm Susan Hill and I'm Deputy Mayor of Newtown.
Okay girls, tell me, what do you think of the benefits here of the new bypass regarding Newtown?
Oh, it's an amazing construction, isn't it? We've just driven along it, and it's such a great feat of engineering, and of course one that's involved a lot of money flowing into the local economy, so we're delighted about that.
Yes, and it's an amazing achievement that they had so many hours. I think it was 1.4 million hours without a reportable accident. That's pretty amazing. And also the amount of people who were trained in skills that perhaps they didn't have before, and the apprentices taken on. That's got to be good too.
I'm Barry Leake. I've been working on the bypass the last 2 years.
Yeah, well here we are. It's opening today. What do you think of it?
Oh, it's going to be great for the town, isn't it? It's brilliant. Ease up the traffic in the town, no end. It's going to do the town real good, I think.
I'm Ken Skates and I'm the Minister for Economy and Transport.
Ken, brilliant link now between North and South Wales. Would you like to tell me a little bit about your views on this?
Well, this is a huge piece of investment by the Welsh Government in Mid Wales. It's the single biggest piece of infrastructure investment right now, and it's going to hugely cut congestion levels within Newtown, but it will also significantly reduce journey times between North Wales and South Wales. In doing so, it's going to make Newtown and Mid Wales more attractive to investors, more attractive to people who wish to start up businesses. So we'll see further economic growth generated as a result of this piece of infrastructure.
Absolutely fantastic. It's good for Newtown and it's good for the people. It'll take the traffic away from the centre and then the bypass will be used.
And again, looking this way, here we go. I'm just going to try one. I know it's a bit bright, but look up at the camera if you can. Here we go.
Steve Copeland, Supervisor on the Newtown project.
Well, it's open today. What do you think of it?
Well, it's absolutely marvellous. Even the sun's out today as well for it.
Big improvement through Newtown?
It's going to make hell of a difference for Newtown, yeah, I think so, yeah. And over the next few years.
I'm County Councillor Rosemary Harris and I'm the leader of Powys County Council.
Rosemary, going to be a huge benefit between North and South Wales. Would you like to tell me a little bit about it?
It'll be very important for us because we're a very big rural area in the centre of Wales. We need to improve and sustain the economic work that we have here anyway. But at the moment we're working on a growth deal for Mid Wales, so this will help to open up the county. We're working on that growth deal with Ceredigion County Council and the two governments, of course. So we need more of this sort of thing really that can help us open up the county. There are other similar projects in the pipeline as well for other areas. We need really to work with our eastern neighbours as well, the Midlands engine area, so this is going to be very important.
My name's Dan Rowlands and I'm a County Councillor for Newtown North and Llanllechaion.
Dan, you've travelled along the bypass today. What do you think?
Absolutely brilliant. I think it's fantastic for the town and particularly for my ward, especially Llanllechaion. It should hopefully bypass the traffic from using that area and going along the bypass.
I'm Councillor Carl Lewis and my ward is the Llandudno ward.
Okay, Carl, I understand the bypass is, some of it is in your ward. What's your view on having travel along the bypass today?
Yes, as you say, the Newtown bypass does start in my ward and travelling along it today I can see the potential for everyone in my ward getting to and from the Welsh border, which is going to open up a lot of chances for investment into Mid Wales, especially around the Newtown region.
It's been an amazing achievement to be able to open this bypass 4 months early. We've done that through teamwork, collaboration, and we've had a bit of luck on the way. We've also been able to open the bypass early and on budget, but with 1.4 million hours worked without a reportable accident. And that's testament to the team that have worked here. Over 1,000 people have been involved in building this bypass, and I'd like to thank them all for their hard work and effort in making it such a success. We're delighted at the public reaction to the bypass now that it's open, and we're extremely grateful for the support we've received from the community while we've been building the bypass.